My ancestors came from here. They didn't come because they wanted to be in America. They came because they were taken as captives.
Grand rising, y'all. Right now we in nature. I'm in the jungle right now, man. Nah, not that fake concrete jungle in New York. I'm in the real jungle, man. Nature's the closest thing to God. This is where we're supposed to be.
I have never experienced friendship, generosity, and a welcoming like I have in Ghana, particularly Accra. As a Black American in the U.S., it was healing.
It's about being accepted. It's about being respected. And those are things that you don't get under Donald Trump and the divided snakes of a murder.
400 years ago, the first women, men, and children forcibly stolen from this continent arrived on the other side of the Atlantic in America. Fast forward many years later, and the government, the modern government of Ghana, is saying to its international descendants, come back home. But what does that integration look like?
I went through what a lot of Black people go through, which is a trumped up charge, racism, and so forth. So I decided that I was coming here to do my PhD. I did so. I'm doing pretty well. I've been installed as a traditional ruler. So this was given to me by the Nsumankwa Hene, the overall spiritual head of all of the Asante people. It's about being accepted. It's about being respected. And those are things that you don't get under Donald Trump and the divided snakes of a murder.
I have never experienced friendship, generosity, and a welcoming like I have in Ghana, particularly Accra. As a Black American in the U.S., it was healing to return to the castle. It was healing to return to the river, to reunite with my ancestors, to affirm everything that I knew about myself, everything that I knew about who they were. And they were so resilient that my ancestors lived through that entire process that I can exist today to continue to advocate for the rights of those in the Americas and abroad. We did more than just meetings. We were able to experience the culture and the people and the love.
I get asked all the time, why would you leave the USA to come to Africa? Or specifically Namibia, if it's a Namibian asking. I realize a lot of people don't know the experience of what a Black American looks like. But the first answer is, it's spiritual. This is the land that my ancestors are from. I am from African ancestry. And this is where I believe I belong. My ancestors came from here. They didn't come because they wanted to be in America. They came because they were taken as captives, prisoners of war. And that is a different thing than if they had decided, if my ancestors said, I love America, I love this land, I want to go there. Maybe that's a different thing. Maybe I'd have a different spirit about it. But at this point, I felt a deep spiritual call, and my husband as well. We felt a deep spiritual call to be in this land. And it was a spiritual call we could not deny for any conveniences that we might have had in the States. So we achieved the American dream in the States. We worked very hard. We both came from families that were hardworking people that had to work from the bottom to the, to get to college and to achieve our dreams. And then we were able to save up enough money to be able to make this move, which is expensive and risky. And it takes a lot of money to do that. But we achieved the American dream, and we took our American dream dollars and brought them to Africa to reinvest here. And that means a lot to us. And again, that's a very spiritual thing to do. And for those who don't really understand what it meant to be a Black American, I mean, it's very tough to tell that story in a TikTok. But America in and of itself is not the place it's propagandized to be. It's a place with a lot of challenges and problems. There's a lot of poverty in America. People in America are poor. They live on the concrete on the street, and it's illegal to live on the street. So they can be arrested for sleeping on the street. There are a lot of shootings and things like that. There's a lot of death that we witness to the point that we're desensitized to it. I remember taking my husband to my hometown, and we went to go visit my aunt. And across the street from my aunt, there was a clear crime scene. And I asked my aunt what happened. She's like, hey, baby, I'm so glad to see you guys. But good to see you too. But what happened across the street? She said, oh, I think a little kid was killed. But I got some food for you. And I'm like, okay. You know, we just kind of had to ignore it. And the whole time we're looking at each other like, there was a murder across the street. They're still sweeping it up. And she's just like, oh, yeah, it's fine. I'm glad you're here. I haven't seen you in years. You know, I miss you. And I'm like, okay, this is America. You know, this is what it looks like. I mean, it's all of the above. It's wealth, and it's extreme poverty, and it's murder. I remember going, I was hosting an event, and that morning I had to run. I was trying to rush to go get some sodas and stuff from Walmart, and there had been these news stories about this Walmart shooter. And I remember seeing the stories, but I was like, I still got to go to the grocery store. So I got up that morning to go to Walmart. And then I'm behind this car, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm so mad because I'm rushing. The police are pulling somebody over, and there's so many police I can't even get around it or something or anything. And then it turns out they open the trunk, and there's a bunch of big guns in the back of the car. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm behind the Walmart shooter on the way to Walmart. We were both on the way to the same store at the same time. Oh my gosh. You know, that's life in America. That was life in Colorado, the birthplace of school shootings. You know, and again, you know, America has both of the things. It has beautiful things. It has places that are as beautiful as this, what I'm in right now. And it has places as dark as what you would think hell might look like. They literally have places named after hell in America. Rightly so, because they're dark places. So it goes it goes every direction in that country. So there's no one America. There's no one American experience. There's really no one Black American experience. So I say all that to just say, you know, what you believe America is may not be accurate. And that is part of the reason people can't even believe why anybody would want to leave. Why would you want to leave the USA? It's got to be the best place ever. And it's, you know, it's not necessarily the best place ever. And then people that don't know about Africa will say, why would you go to Africa? You know, it's not a great place. Like, why? It's in poverty. It's, you know, a third world country. And I'm like, Africa has many countries. And it's not a third world continent. And even the third world has some amazing features and beauty and beautiful people and culture. And being third world, which is a very old concept, just means not like what you knew, not industrialized the way you knew it. Poverty exists just like it is in America. I have fed people on the street in America. I have seen starving children in America. And so I know that it exists in both places. So, you know, I'm not trying to minimize anything. I'm just trying to remind people that haven't been to Africa that there are many, many parts of Africa. There are many, many experiences in Africa, just like in the States. So just like in the States, you can be in poverty in the United States, have very little, live in a dilapidated house. You can in Africa live in poverty in a dilapidated house and scrimp and scrounge for food. You can also be very wealthy and live in a giant house and have an abundance of everything that you'd ever want living in Africa, and for a lot cheaper than you can get it in America. Just saying, you know. So the experiences that we're talking about, you know, there's diverse experiences everywhere. So don't discount, you know, the experience of a person and what guides and leads them. I'm guided by spirit. And so my guidance is in here, and my guidance tells me this is the place I need to be. This is my home, and I'm happy to be home.
I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I feel my ancestors, man. I feel my ancestors. I feel them calling. I feel my ancestors. Oh, this is the land of the blacks. Because these people are black. See, I'm having this natural mango, man. Straight from the earth, straight from Mother Nature. Okay, we got some real fruits, not that GMO shit in Detroit. We got the real fruits from God, from the source, from the earth. You see the earth. Grand rising, y'all. Right now, we in nature. You know, I'm in the jungle right now, man. Nah, not that fake concrete jungle in New York. I'm in the real jungle, man. Nature's the closest thing to God. This is where we're supposed to be. Cause you know, like when I see myself in y'all, man, we family. We family, you know, like, you know, we're the same, man. They see us the same way.
No, I said that.
Yeah, man.
I feel like we have this conversation every year. I'm Black American, clearly. African American, of course. In 2020, my grandmother, at 72 years old, never even visited Africa, picked all her stuff up and moved to the Gambia. The Gambia is on the western coast of Africa. It's literally called the Smiling Coast of Africa. It's right next to Senegal. There's literally a place where it meets called Senegambia. And every year for the past 4 years, I've come to visit. We've even done my ancestry and found out our tribe, i.e. why I have a face tattoo. I am Fula from the Fulani tribe, and this is a beautification tattoo. All of that to say, I just wanted to give a little context because I got a bunch of Gambia stuff coming, and I realized that some of y'all don't know why I be here. Yeah, I just wanted to give you guys some backstory. So now, enjoy the content. Is it just me, or do you believe that God loves it when you travel too? Traveling to Gambia is first practice of that. I get my food, get my sweet teas, have myself a little drink, and now I'm on my first flight to Chicago. Smooth, easy route. Chicago's airport, huge, beautiful, love it. Next flight to Brussels. 8 hours, we're in Brussels, girl. Now they was arguing on the flight. Brussels to Dakar and then Gambia, and I told you God likes it when I travel.